What's going on, guys? This is Jacemachine. Welcome back to Starmade. Last episode I bought the Plex Undetonator, but I never placed it, so we're going to change that today. And we're just going to keep it simple right here. Let's see if we have to make sure that the facing matters. Press left control to bring up your advanced build mode menu. And look where it says orientation. This is where you normally get to toggle the direction that a block is facing. This is going to be non-applicable. That's what the NA is for. So that means does not apply. We do not need to worry about it. So I just put the hole there. We're going to put this here. We've got some salvaging to do today. Oh, here's an interesting bug. Or maybe it's not a bug, maybe it's a feature. Check this out. I can place a block here on this ship, but I can't place a block here. And I'm thinking maybe it's because this section here, right above, maybe was originally out in the open, but this part right here where I want to place this block was originally like a hill or something where I cut it out. That's the only thing I could think of. But I just thought that was interesting, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Alright, so I moved the docking module up to the top of the mountain here, on the top of my base, and I parked this ship core right on top, and my intention is now to add power reactor modules to it, but check this out. I can't build here, position is blocked by the planet. I can't build it in the front either. Nor can I do it on this side. Now I can do it here, and I can also do it here, and I can even go here and here. Now this might have something to do with the actual docking module placement itself in regards to the spaceship. I'm not exactly sure, but I figured I'd show it off to you. If you guys were thinking about building a ship in a similar fashion, just know that that will not work out for you. You won't be able to place anything here. But I think we could probably work around that today anyway. The ship we're building today is going to be pretty bare bones. Alright, so you'll see how there is a green box that is lined up with this, the docking module. The idea behind that is, in default Starmade, this is supposed to keep the size of whatever you're building bound within it. That's why the ship and the core and everything that we've been added to it is getting this darker blue box, or in this case a rectangle, put around it. Now there's docking modules like this block, and then there's docking enhancers, which I'm not worried about today. It's a way of balancing the game, but it's not one of my favorite features, and it's one that I choose not to use in this particular Let's Play. Now this ship here, we have already put some power module blocks on here, the power reactor modules, and basically, as you can see, I've left space in between them. Now if you look over to the middle left of the screen, the third line down says power. And the first digit of that number starts with 5. You want to go all the way to the right of that, to the part in brackets. It says 1529. That shows how much power is being generated at the moment. Now, you can add more blocks, but in some cases, if you remove blocks, you end up getting more power. And a lot of the time is, anytime these blocks are sitting side to side with each other, they are not producing as much power as they can. So you see how this block here and this block here is touching these blocks on both sides? Check out the number on the left and check out what happens to that 1529. We remove this, it becomes 2000. We remove this block. See? Check that out. That's awesome. Now if we take this block away, how does that affect things? We actually lose power. Ever so slightly. So when you are putting your power blocks down, take note. So when you're first starting out this game, try not to make a big block of power reactor modules, because they're not going to do the job unless you array them correctly. And that's the trick. A lot of this game is about learning how to array your blocks. And hopefully if you keep watching the series, we'll both end up getting a better understanding of that. So now that we got the power array in place, what we need to do now is add some thrusters. So we're going to add some thrusters. Where are my thrusters? Here we go. We have 7 hyperflux quill thrusters. Now you would think that you would have to stick these quill thrusters at the back of the ship, right? There you go. You see how that ship has now broken the green barrier of the docking module? It's changed colors to purple. That is just to let you know as a builder that you broke it, and that if you were using default Starmade, that this would not actually be a suitable docking place. But because I turned that off in the configuration, I don't have to worry about that, and we can continue building. Now the cool thing about thrusters is you don't have to put them on the back of a ship like this. What you could do is you could put them anywhere. You could fill all the gaps of your spaceship with thruster blocks. Because most of the time, when you actually have a thruster on the back of the ship, it's a decorative block anyway. Alright, we got some power and we got some thrust. Let's see how it handles. Alright, well that was successful. Now what we're going to do is put our salvage computer in place, because this is going to be a salvage machine. First we're going to select the ship core with the C. Now that it is highlighted orange, we can now place our weapons computer, or in this case our salvage computer. So we're going to take the salvage computer and we're going to place it in this little gap right here. Alright, you see how it's glowing purple here? That means that that is connected to this other core block. Now what you want to do is you want to change which block you have highlighted. So you're going to focus on your salvage computer and you're going to hit C once again. Alright, so now that this is highlighted, we know we can put down some salvage modules. I don't really feel like doing it by hand on both sides. But thankfully, Schema has put an option in the game for us, and if you remember from before, that option is the advanced build mode. Hit the control button on the left side of your keyboard. Go ahead to the YZ plane and hit set. We want to have odd symmetry mode on because we want to have this centered on a block. You see how it's already jumped to the center? That is awesome. Now don't select the core itself if you're trying to set it up. Select another block above it, and if you don't have anything in your hand, it actually works better. But there you go. It's set up. Let's place some of these salvage modules. Alright, instead of making one gun, I've made 4 guns. None of these guns attached to the side, so they are considered 4 separate entities. Now, I also have to add a cannon computer, and I'm going to put the cannon computer right here. And I am going to now... Oh, I did something here. Did you catch it? I forgot to link it. So, go back here. We are now selecting the core of the ship one more time. This happens a lot, if you're not careful. It happens a lot to me anyway. Alright, let's put that cannon computer right here. Oh, we just need one of them. So what we're going to end up doing is hooking the salvage array to the cannons, and that's going to affect the rate of how the cannons work and how efficient they are, how much power they drain. Alright, now before we forget, I want to select this, the weapons computer, with the C one more time, and now we're going to place down our cannon barrels. Another 3 on this side, and another 2 on the top. And what this does is it just pretty much gives you an equal balance between the two the two systems. I have an equal amount of salvage guns, and I have an equal amount of cannons in place. This is how you are able to actually customize the heck out of your ship's weapons. Basically, if you have more of one and less of another, it definitely affects the outcome of what your ship's guns or missiles or whatever do. But we'll worry about that when it comes up, as the need arises. Right now, though, we should have a perfectly good salvage ship in place. We're going to go back into flight mode, we're going to hit T, and now the T brings up the weapons menu. So right here, we have our salvage computer and we have our cannon computer. You just grab the cannon computer and you can move it around, mouse it around. You see this green area here? That's the support to the salvage computer. So we're going to drop that in there. So the main salvage computer is a slightly larger icon than the cannon computer. These two are linked together, and it shows you the support effect is 100% because the blocks are even. Now the next thing we have to do is select that one more time and hit 1, and that'll put that right there into your first hotbar spot. Nothing left to do but to test this bad boy. Let's take her out. I've been dying to check out these asteroids over here. This one looks like it's made out of cinnabar. And I really like the color red, and I was really kind of hoping I can do something with this. Let's test this out. Alright, now the game itself is giving me a helpful tip in the upper right corner of the screen, if you haven't noticed. See how all 4 of the beams are focused at the same spot? That is, of course, for surgical salvaging, and that's perfectly fine in some cases. But if I want to hit the other button on the mouse, what I have is 4 separate salvage beams, and they're just doing their own business. You see how fast they are? So I'm going to take care of this, and we will continue. I think I've done enough damage to that one today. I'm going to leave it like this so at least it'll be a recognizable landmark when I'm flying around. Here's one with a lot of visible lava. Ooh, a red ore. That red crystal is probably my teeth. salvaging in space, keep a wary eye on that radar map in the right upper right of your screen. It's basically the same thing as keeping an eye out for creepers when you're building something in Minecraft. You never know when the space pirates might sweep in, and you want to be able to have enough time to escape. It's beautiful work here. Alright, now that we're done testing out the Salvager, let's take it to the shop. I want to buy something, and then we're going back to that space station so I can show you a trick. Alright, here at the shop, we're going to buy ourselves another build block, and then we're going to take it to the space station, and I'll show you what we're going to do with it. Alright, Station 402. We're going to pick this guy clean. Alright, compared to doing it by hand, this is clearly the supreme way of handling it. However, there's one better way. And it's called the build block. Enter the build block, and now we have control of the entire station. So this means that we can actually go into remove mode in our advanced build settings, and then take these settings here and make this a very large chunk remover. That is quite a hole. We managed to break it again. But at least it put us directly outside of our build block. I think we've gotten enough for today. I'll see you back at the base. Alright, very successful. We'll just leave the ship docked here until we need it again. Let's go inside and take a look at our booty. Alright, so let's see what we got. We got a bunch of lava. We got zircon ore. A bunch of text. That is one of the stones. It's like cinnabar. That's not cinnabar. It's like the cinnabar right down here. We got some red hull. Black hull, red hull, blue, green, and yellow hull. We got one beacon, some white lights. We have our gravity unit from before. Foliage, I had that from before. We got some zirconer ore, gisper ore. Both of these are metals. And this matisse. And this is a crystal. So very cool. Oh wow, that is a lot of gray hull. Alright, so we can probably sell some of this stuff, but now we have enough to actually build some sort of spacefaring starship and something more than just a little unit like that. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you all here next time. Please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, comments, or criticisms, please feel free to share with me in the comments section below. Thank you. I will see you next time.